Then we come to the Central City Residential Development Mechanisms and Incentives, which is a report from Finance and Performance Committee of the Whole. And could I ask Raf for you to introduce? Could I ask?
I think I voted against this actually.
To introduce the item, and it's simply a that this. I think the recommendation is that. This will be subsequently considered as part of the Mayor's recommendations as set out in Attachment B.
Yeah, look, I think this report was brought on the basis of what can the council do to encourage development in the central city, and issues or policies like the rates remission policy was floated as a potential idea. So we've suggested that be looked at amongst a whole range of packages to stimulate building. So that's what this report is about, and obviously there's an allocation proposed through the annual plan consideration for $100,000 towards this process.
Yep. So I mean, this was sort of litigated at the meeting itself. I think I voted against it as well for a number of reasons. Can I just, have we got a recommendation in relation to moving that this will be subsequently, that the recommendation will be considered as part of the Mayor's recommendations as set out in Attachment B? I have included it in the Mayor's recommendations because it was carried by the Council at the Finance and Performance Committee. So I thought that we were actually just referring the item to the... Are we not referring the item to the Mayor's recommendations, or are we voting on the recommendations here?
The way that's come through, obviously you need to...
So this is how
it looks like a separate paper, Leanne.
From the council, from the committee.
Standing on its own.
So number 3 should just note this will be. Well, how is it subsequently considered? We'll take out 3. It's irrelevant because we're considering it now. Sorry, I apologise. I thought that we were going to...
Item 1 does say considers providing, doesn't
yeah.
it? So then item 3 is saying we'll consider it through the annual plan.
Yeah, so actually why don't I simply move that this item be referred to the Mayor's recommendations as set out in Attachment B.
Yeah. I mean, item 2 was pretty much agreed, so I don't see that it needs to be re-litigated.
That this item be referred to the Mayor's recommendations contained in Attachment B. Does that include the requesting the report? Sorry, could someone just help me out there? Yeah. Can we just hang fire for a minute, please? Where is it? Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Okay. So it's not. So no. No. Sorry. Can you just that item 1 be referred to the. That item 1 be referred to the Mayor's recommendations contained in Attachment B, And so the second one is to request a report to be brought to council by the end of July for discussion to make recommendations on a wider package of mechanisms and incentives to address the barriers to residential development in the central city, including consideration of the rates remission policy. So that's so that's the second one is just that, yes. So I'm happy to move that. Do I have a seconder for that?
Yeah, second.
Yep. Raf, any discussion? Yanni?
You're moving one.
No, 1 and 2.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify, if obviously that report will still need to inform the LTP.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I don't know what it's going to inform, but it will be coming back to council by the end of July.
Or I just, I just have real concerns about looking at the rates remission policy, just for Central City. I think that would be a huge mistake. I think it should be done if it's going to be done as part of an annual plan process, not separate. So I won't support 2. I don't believe it's fair looking to give only Central City rates remission. We've got the rest of the city who are struggling with rates increases.
Yeah, okay, well, the purpose of this is to allow for the reporting back. It is important that we look at the barriers to residential development in the central city. I don't actually think 1 is sufficient to do that, and I think it's really important that we do pull out all stops to make sure that that residential development does occur. And I think that the important thing here is that this was fully debated at the committee of the whole, and it had the delegation to make this decision. So I don't actually think that it should be a recommendation here. It's just we should be noting the decision that was made by the committee of the whole, the Finance and Performance.
Yeah, I think it's
Committee.
really item 1.
It's item 1 that is simply.
Yeah. Item 2 was approved.
Item 2 was approved at the council meeting. So I think there's just been a misunderstanding as to how this processes through the system.
The rates remission policy, we normally would do that through an annual plan or an LTP, and I have no problem doing that.
It doesn't matter. The committee of the whole debated this in full. So I need some assistance from our legal people, but I'd like to rule that number 2 has already been considered by the Finance and Committee of the whole. It is within its delegation. It has requested the report to come back to them, and we need to. In fact, it's not going to be able to meet the end of July because it comes to the. No, because they've asked for it to come to council.
Yeah, and there's a council meeting at the end of July. You could just say, note, a report will be brought to council.
Yeah, just so make that, note a report.
Unfortunately, I think your resolution was that council request. So that was your resolution. Okay. So I think you do have to vote on that again. It didn't exercise the delegation. The resolution was that it referred it to council. So it should be a straightforward decision for you, since you've already discussed it, but this was the resolution.
Yeah, okay. All right, so it's been moved and seconded. Is there any debate? I'll put the 2 separate. Glenn?
Thank you. Just a couple of quick points. Not to hold things up. While I could agree pro forma, I can't, because it is that kind of recommendation. I can't get past the rates remission part, which Yanni's spoken to, and I voted against this at F&P and will here too.
Yep, Phil.
I'm going to vote against 2 as well, because I think that if we're getting, I want to support all the mechanisms that we can find, but I think if we're getting a review on the DC's policy, we need to get that separate rather than us looking at the whole revisions area.
Complete misunderstanding. It's not DC's policy at all. Anyway, I'll put the motion for 1. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. No. For 1, that's carried. You still want to vote against it? That 1 be referred to the Mayor's recommendations in attachment B. Okay. So now 2, I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. So can we have the no's? Put your hands up.
And
Um,
Vicky,
Buck,
Councillor Buck.
Swiggs, Scandrett, Livingston and Clearwater. Oh, sorry, did I say that? At least it's the other way round this time. Johansson, not Swiggs. All right, that's carried.